Hello my friends, this is Alien Contactee Linol Anderson here with you guys with a brand new YouTube BitChute video. And in today's video, we're going to be going deep down the rabbit hole once again. A few videos ago, I made a video about Project Bluebeam and how it goes a lot deeper than most people think, and how there could be actual entities coming out of your cell phones and harassing people, all part of this reptilian harvest agenda. Make sure you check out that video if you haven't already. Alright, but in today's video, we're going to be going even further. What if I were to tell you guys that these beings aren't just going to be popping out of your cell phone giving you problems, but a lot of people, unfortunately, in the coming years, are going to start experiencing these lower reptilian astral entities. They're going to be experiencing the phenomenon known as possession a lot more. That's right, demonic possession, whatever you want to call it. And that they are changing the human body to not only connect to this reptilian 4D astral AI in an even more extreme way, but also to be allowed to be taken over and possessed by beings who are in the astral as well. That's right, I got a lot of interesting stuff to show you guys today, so let's just get right to it. Just going to ask you guys, hit that subscribe button if you like today's video. As I say, subscribe to survive, and hit the like button. It helps with the algorithms. So let's talk about this phenomenon of possession and what it is, what it's all about, what are humans and these bodies we have. All those questions will be answered in this video that I'm going to show you right now. This guy claims to be the Mahdi, the return of Muhammad. I don't know if I believe him, but very interesting things he has to say. Take a look.
We have hacked the minds of many high-level government officials. The Shafar exist on a planet that is very far away from here, and they're physically incapable of traveling to this planet. But they do have the ability to project their consciousness into human bodies and to take them over. One of them specifically was George H.W. Bush. His consciousness was overtaken by one of these creatures. A person can identify if somebody is inhabited by an extraterrestrial consciousness, or if the person is a shapeshifter, is by looking into the eyes they're able to tell, because it will be off. There will be this kind of flashing light type of thing that will go through the eyes, and there's this old saying that says the eyes are the windows to the soul, right?
That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers. Containers, though. Containers. Maybe containers of soul. You can come up with whatever theory you want, but we're containers.
So when you take that Bob Lazar said, and you take even the odd interview that Tucker Carlson did recently, you kind of get this strange picture of extraterrestrial beings that have the ability to have a human experience on Earth and live amongst us and move amongst us and hide amongst us and speak to us in human form, but they are extraterrestrial consciousness that is possessing or wearing a human body. Wow. And then you go back to the Bible and you think to yourself, oh my God.
Yeah.
Every time there was a man from the sky.
Yes.
Every time there was an angel that appeared.
Yeah.
He came as a human.
Yeah.
Even the Quran says. And if we would have brought down an angel, we would have made him a man.
Yeah.
There you have it, my friends. So, as you could see, the human being, as Bob Lazar said, there was a clip of Bob Lazar in there, that these bodies, which is not who we truly are, we are spirit, okay? These bodies are AI programs within this simulation, but they are vessels that carry the soul or the spirit, okay? And of course, the way this realm was set up was to harvest our low vibrational spiritual energy, okay, by these darn reptilians and the demiurge, okay? But, you know, if our spirit could come in here, well, also, the way they've set things up is possession is a very real thing. Okay? Now, it's not just an easy process for these beings just to straight up possess anybody, though. It's been a little bit of a difficult process for the average person for them to do that. You can see there's different rules put in place. They can't just possess anybody they want right out of the blue unless that person usually gives consent and is at a certain vibration. Okay, and a lot of this times people give their consent, it is under trickery because they don't know the deities they're calling upon, whether they're calling upon religious deities or characters they thought were good but weren't. But with that being said, they usually go after these people in these certain bloodlines. So you could guarantee people who are in royalty, people who are in politics and whatnot, oftentimes they always belong to these ancient, more reptilian bloodlines. It's much easier for them to take over those avatars, okay? Plus, those people, they have the intent and the want to be taken over by these entities, right? And let's just say these entities are going to have a much easier time possessing people who have that want and intent to have contact with them and who are carrying out low vibrational rituals, which sometimes involve the sacrifice of other living things and blood and all that. It's going to be a lot easier for this reptilian entity to go inside and take over that host as it is opposed to somebody who's just been, you know, a good-hearted person, has good intent, and yeah, maybe they're calling out to a being they shouldn't be because they don't have knowledge of it. Well, who's the entity going to choose? This guy who's doing that, or these people who are actually calling out to them, doing these horrible rituals of a low vibration? Well, oftentimes they're going to go into the person who's doing it with the intent and doing the horrible low vibrational acts, okay? But, you see, there appears to be something going on now, okay? They're changing the human race. We've gone over this in past videos, how they're creating a new human race. They're altering humans right now, as we speak, in many different ways. You know, that thing they want you to get, and nanotechnologies and stuff like that. And one of the reasons they're doing all this, yes, to connect us to this demiurge AI. We've already been connected to the demiurge AI. We're in a simulation, and our thoughts, or our brains, have the ego implant, of course, right? But still, we had much more consciousness to make our own decisions. They are changing us, so we're being taken over this AI force even more, so we're more controllable. But it appears there is some kind of war in the astral realms that's going on that we cannot see, okay, between good forces and dark forces. And it appears that these beings want to, for a temporary amount of time, okay, and this is all channeled information that I have done, okay, so you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. You could choose what resonates with you. But what I channeled with the Pleiadians is that a lot of these archonic, demonic, reptilian entity beings literally are trying to come out of the fourth dimension and take human hosts to possess them, to stay in this realm for a certain amount of time. Maybe they're trying to escape whatever war is happening in the astral, but also it's part of all this end-time reptilian harvest event that's happening. They also want to harvest our energy as well as things come to a close and they transfer us into the new simulation. Who knows, you know, there's a lot of talk of a zombie apocalypse happening, so much predictive programming of zombie apocalypse and zombies going around attacking people. I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happens, and who knows, maybe that's going to have something to do with people getting possessed by these entities to go out and create chaos and attack others and harvest the maximum amount of loosh. You never know if that's what's going to happen. Okay? So I want to show you something that's very interesting, showing how they've been doing these experiments for quite a long time. Take a look at this video, my friends.
Was Epstein trying to create moon children? Allegedly, his goal was to have 20 women at a time impregnated at his 33,000 square foot Zorro Ranch in a small town outside of Santa Fe. He was a devout transhumanist obsessed with strengthening the human gene pool. But what if he was following a less technological and modern method? What if he was actually reading the magical works of Aleister Crowley? Crowley's Liber 367, titled De Homunculo of the Homunculus, is an epistle with specific instructions on how to invoke an elemental or planetary spirit into a moonchild or homunculus. In Liber 367, he clearly states the location, quote, should be a great desert, for in such do rarely wander any human soul seeking incarnation, unquote. Epstein's ranch is very secluded in New Mexico, the land of enchantment. The giant circle on the property plays a role as well. Crowley says, quote, let a great circle be drawn and consecrated to the sphere of the work. Epstein's ranch is near the Trinity site on the 33rd parallel, allegedly where the US government tried to radioactively create a homunculus using the jumbo container. They never actually told us what exactly that thing was for during the Trinity test in 1945. But there's one thing we do know for certain, that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
There you have it. Old Jeff there, and looks like he was really into some eugenics operations at that Zorro Ranch. Some kind of experiments going on. Okay, and as you could see, he's doing Crowley rituals. See, that's how a lot of these people who are on the world stage today, how they came to be. They did these rituals to create the moon children. Rituals they learned from Crowley, but it's an ancient thing. Of course, Crowley learned it from others. But, you know, moon child, well, they conceive on certain phases of the moon. And, of course, and they do their rituals. And, of course, the moon is a weapon of sorts. It's a reptilian frequency weapon. It's all part of the technology of the Matrix, and it keeps humanity at a low vibration, but it's also a portal into the astral and to where the reptilians reside, pretty much there in Saturn. Okay, so any kind of moon child, yeah, I'm not going to trust that, okay, because the moon is not a good thing at the end of the day. All right, but as you could see, they were doing experiments with these babies, or with these women trying to produce these moon children, and that's to summon in these negative beings. And you know, maybe they were trying to birth the Antichrist, or maybe they were doing these experiments to see how they could bring in these entities, because obviously if they're trying to change the human genetics and everything so that we're more easily possessible, you know, connecting to the AI more, lowering our vibration more so that these things could come inside of us better, well, obviously they had to do experiments, and that might be what we're seeing there, okay? So, you know, it's crazy stuff for sure, but it does appear a lot of this is what's happening. We are merging with the fourth dimension. Things are changing in this reality. We're somewhere in between the third and the fourth, and as these changes happen, our avatars are changing by their experimentations and their things and everything, right? And in doing so, they want to merge with us in a way. Okay, my friends? But there is a way to protect ourselves. And there is some good news as well. Alright? First thing that you're going to want to do to protect yourself is to detox yourself. Okay, my friends? Because the more nanotech you got in you, the more sicker you are, the lower your vibration is, whether it's with the heavy metals or the little nanoplastics and all that crap that we get poisoned with every day, okay? They want you sicker. They want you more loaded with this stuff, because it's going to lower your vibration. If you're sicker, your vibrations can be lower. It affects your mental health and everything. And of course, being connected to this nanotechnology, that is summoning a demon in of itself, okay? Because it is that astral demiurge that is connected to. So Detox, my friends. Look into detoxification, research it. My recommendations is doing a good old liver detox. OWELI has great liver detox product with tons of different great ingredients like milk thistle, zinc, and many others, dandelion, okay? You want to detox the liver because the liver is responsible for your body's detoxification process, and that's why they directly attack our liver. So by doing a good liver detox, you're going to flush a lot of this crap out of you. So I recommend that, and I also recommend a colon cleanse, because once you want to do that, you want to move it all over your body, okay? So a colon cleanse, it'll flush out all those toxins, and also it will even get parasites out of you. Alright, so that's a good place to start. I will leave a link to OWELI down below. It's organic, natural, pure products, extremely potent, okay? So down below will be a link. I even got a discount code for you guys to get 15% off and free shipping in the United States. Of course, talk to your doctor if you need to research these things, but definitely start doing that. And if you want to find other stuff, you can too. There's many good things that will help detox all this crap out of you, but make sure detox is a big part of your life, because the less crap you have in you, the less able these beings are going to be able to inhabit your temple. But we could protect ourselves spiritually as well. So I'm going to show you a video by this embodiment celestial guy, and he's going to tell you a little bit about possession and how we protect ourselves. Take a look.
When it comes to possession, you need to really understand the 3 levels of consciousness that we experience. Also, I highly recommend you study these things, demonology. And I would never invite that into my life. Oh, look who, demonology of King James. Yeah, you recognize that name? Now, like I've said before, I'm not religious, but I understand that the truth is in many religions, and even the earliest Christians knew that the Bible was parables and fables of the human body, and head being heaven, hell being hell. That's why we say you have to raise your vibration to get into heaven. 144,000 go to heaven. It's a frequency. Understanding your torus field and how it creates pressure that simulates this high pressure field that goes around you. Now, when you lower your frequency, this high pressure dissipates. So basically you have your equilibrium, this is your body, and you have a low pressure and high pressure, and it creates this field, this torus field, torso field, or the tortoise shell. How a tortoise is protected by its shield. The Apostle Paul said, "It is no longer I who lives in here, but the Christ within me," because when you get into meditation and you lift yourself over the thoughts of the carnal mind, you raise yourself into the blissful nothingness of nirvana, and that is where you become one with God. I am not this body. I am an extension. I am an expression of my soul, just as I am an extension of Yahweh, Source, God. It's not that I am God. I am an extension of God and God's expression. This is why it's important for you to raise your vibration. Now, I know you've heard the term as above, so below, as within, so without. Just how you can raise your frequency and let what is divine work through you, you can lower your frequency and let things that are negative also work through you. And the more you start to meditate, you actually start to experience and sense these things that are around you. So your pineal gland, your third eye, it's like that for a reason. It's because you can sense things. You ever go near someone and you get a bad vibe, like you just don't know what it is. You get a bad feeling in your gut that something's going to happen, and it happens. That is the power of your third eye. Our third eye is calcified so much to the point that we are unable to sense these things. We can't sense the presence of these entities. And I know some of you probably can, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why when it comes to alcohol, you notice how alcohol is being played to our youth, and how drinking alcohol is such a fun activity, but it's even deeper. Another reason why they call drinks spirits or booze, and it's because when you lower your vibrational frequency, you disrupt your high pressure field that protects you, and it allows you to black out and become possessed. Oh, I don't remember anything from last night. It is actually a lot deeper than you realize. When I had left my body for the first time and I saw an entity, I understood the rules, and this is why I do what I do.
There you have it, my friends. So that's how it works, okay? The higher your vibration is, like I said, the more pure your temple is and all that, it creates that natural field around you that's going to protect you and make it impossible for these entities to get to you. You see a lot of people who do get possessed without really trying to, like how the dark forces do their rituals and do the horrible things. Another way is just people who are very low vibration, right? And they're into doing hard drugs and drinking till they get blackout. And I'm not saying if you do those things you're going to get possessed for sure, but it's people who really went into it and they're in very low vibrations of hatred, and maybe they got mental illness, they're going crazy, they got violence on their minds. When your vibration is that low and you're taking substances that lower your vibration even lower, that's a way for these beings to get into you, and that's why a lot of people end up killing people and horrible things. Well, it's because they got possessed, okay? So definitely be careful. Keep your temple as clear as you can. Always have good intentions. Don't be calling out to any negative beings or religious deities. A lot of people think, oh yeah, they call out to a certain angel or whatever that they're going to be good. You know, be very careful, my friends. They call out to Jesus. Well, Jesus is Hail Zeus. And I'm not saying everybody who calls out to Jesus is going to get possessed, but it takes all the other factors that we said as well, right? But just be very careful. But the most important thing is your intention and being at a high vibration with having love in your heart. As long as you got the love in your heart and you're not in those lower emotions and you're not getting to the point of extreme hate in your heart, you should be good, because it builds up that natural protection, okay? And that's what they don't want. That's what they do not want. That's why there's so much suffering in the world. That's why there's so much crap going on right now. You see the streets are flooded with, drugs and people getting worse and worse and worse. We see it every day. Well, it's all by design, because they want people to get to these states so they could eventually fully take over them, harvest them fully, and they want to get over that astral for a period of time. I don't know. It just appears to be what's happening. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video on a positive note, because as these negative beings are doing these things, there's also positive beings out there as well who could as well use us as a vessel. Absolutely, my friends. It's not just negative, it's positive. A lot of us are what's known as star seeds, okay? A lot of people watching this are star seeds, and that means we're not necessarily human. We came down here on a volunteer mission, okay, to help humanity, but we're not actually human. We are the aliens, my friends. We incarnated into this incarnation to help humanity. And I got a very good video I'm going to show you one more time, that Made guy talking about this. It's very interesting, but never forget that, my friends. And you yourself could even be taken over by a positive being. That's what's called channeling. I do channelings, okay? You got to be careful how you do it, because like I said, you don't want to be calling out to any deceptive negative beings. That's why I never call out to any specific being. But unless you could know 100% without a doubt that they're not a negative being. So just be very careful. Use your discernment. It's always best just to ask for a being of pure love, okay? Of pure love with positive intention. See, they got to respect your consent. It's all about consent, okay? So if it's just a general thing, say like, hey, I'd like to have a communication with a being of pure love who has a positive agenda, well, that cuts out any negative beings, because you made your intention that it has to be of love who has a positive agenda for mankind, okay, who respects the law of one. And a lot of these times, even when I make these videos right here, right now, I don't have anything planned. I just start talking. Only thing I have planned is the title of the video and a basic idea. Very rarely will I ever put down notes. Sometimes I written down a few things just so I didn't forget that I wanted to mention. But for the most part, I just hit record. I start talking. That's how it's always been. I've been making videos for over 12 years now. Never planned any of it. I just start talking and things just start coming out. And I do believe I'm being divinely guided to tell you guys all this information by positive beings of love who follow the law of one. I got a connection to the Pleiadians, as you know, the good faction of the Pleiadians. There are rogue factions as well. Like I said, be careful, use discernment. Now I want to show you that last clip of the Made guy, who he claims to be the Made, talking about how the best of the best incarnate in these times we're in right now, and the worst of the worst. They use this realm to carry out these wars that are going on, it seems. Okay, so I'll show you that. Just wanted to say, if you guys enjoy my videos, I am on Patreon. That's right, I got classes on Patreon, Ascent to 5D class, health class, occult class, got a lot of other cool things on there, channelings, whatnot. I'll leave the link down below in the description, so if you're interested and you'd like to help support the channel, definitely check out Patreon, okay? And I'm also on the website Buy Me a Coffee, so if you enjoy my work and you'd like to help support the channel, you could buy me a coffee, and as a thank you, I will send to your email some exclusive Patreon videos. So the links are all down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Hope you guys subscribed, and that's it for today's video. And until next time, you guys have a great one. Here's that last video I told you about. Cheers.
A core part of our belief is that in the time of the Qa'im, the believers who believed in him and wanted to support him and wanted to play a role in the establishment of a divine just state, they are resurrected from the grave, they reincarnate, they return in a Raja. So the Raja is this concept that the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam said that whoever doesn't believe in our Raja is not from us. And they describe the Raja as being the return of the best, all the saints, all the prophets, all the messengers, all the righteous people, and a return of the worst, all of the worst demons and tyrants and evil ones and the enemies of the prophets and the messengers. They all return for one final epic battle that takes place in the time of the Qa'im, where good banishes and overcomes evil, and all those who were martyred by the evil ones get to exact revenge against them, and it becomes the time where Iblis is actually finally slaughtered and the earth is rid of him, and the balance returns back from the hands of evil to the hands of good. And just as the earth was filled with injustice and tyranny in that time, the prophets, the messengers, the saints, they all are victorious, and they manage to fill the earth up with justice and equity as it has been filled before with injustice. And so we have here depictions, paintings of the people that are believers in this very call. They have returned, and they are prophets and messengers who chose to come back in this day and age, and they discovered themselves, and they were informed of their incarnations, or remembered who they were in this call. And so you have images here of Zechariah and Joshua, Bathsheba, and some of the other famous people that have existed over history. The second layer is a continuation of that.